Like immediately already my lips feel softer, and it's only been 30 minutes of filming. The number one thing that I get asked about is, why do your lip products apply so smooth? Do you have some type of different product? How are you prepping your lips? Like, I don't understand. And nobody wants to hear this, but the higher the quality of your lip product, the more likely it is that there's long-term skincare benefits within the formula. Meaning the more you wear it, the longer you wear it, the better your lips are gonna look underneath. I do not have a lip care routine. I do not do lip masks. I do not do lip exfoliators. I do not do lip prep, nothing. I wear MAC lip products 99% of my time. The only time that I go in with lip conditioner, like it's 5 p.m. I haven't put anything on my lips since, what day of the week is it? It's Sunday. I haven't put anything on my lips since Friday. Is I'll do lip conditioner. So I usually have this on me at the gym. Some nights if I feel like I want something on my lips to sleep, it'll be this. This uses sweet almond oil. So you can think of this more as like a long-term nourishing treatment. Yes, you can wear it by itself. Yes, you can put it on top of other things, but its whole purpose is to hydrate the lips. Vaseline, chapstick, Blistex do not hydrate your lip. They're barriers. So, and if you are constantly reapplying your lip balms that are not working, you shouldn't have to do that. I don't use lip primer because I don't need it. I don't have any issues with my lipsticks lasting, color's not going on properly. Like, I'm fine to go directly on to my lips. Lip primer is great if you have that issue, if you need more longevity in your product, if you need things to apply a little bit smoother, and if you don't want to feel the texture of a product on your lip, because even though like the silky matte formula glides onto the lip, it still is a matte, and some people just don't want to feel that. So that's where you would put a lip primer underneath, because anything that's more glossy on top of something that's more matte or long wearing, you're gonna ruin its ability to do its job. You suffer from dry lips, put this on as soon as you sit down to do your makeup or before you're doing makeup on somebody else. And by the time you get to the lips, you can just wipe it off and it'll be good to go. Wipes are also a great way to prep your lips, to take off any like weird skin and really make sure they're as soft as possible. My lips are real, and you know this because there's lines, there's texture on my lips. That is normal. Just because your lipstick shows the texture of your lips doesn't mean that the lipstick is bad, and it doesn't mean that your lips are bad either. We are so used to seeing lip filler. Lip filler expands and smooths out the texture of the lip, so everything looks like it glides on incredibly smooth. Seeing your lip lines is normal, and it looks fine, and there's nothing wrong with your lips, and you don't need to go get lip filler. Everything's okay. But also, seeing texture with a lipstick doesn't equate to dryness. But the one thing I will always do, whatever is left over on my foundation brush, I will put onto my lip. Because color, so the pigment in my lips, mixing with the lip color is going to create something entirely different. I don't want to intensify the pigment of the product I'm working with mixing it with the pinkiness of my own lip. So if I can tint some of that, it's the same reason you put foundation down before you go in with like blush and bronzer. So I'm gonna be getting any of the foundation like hydrating benefits into my lip as well. The other thing is, because I spray Fix Plus so much during my makeup process as well, I'm gonna get hydrating benefits from the Fix Plus too. So this is always the starting point of my lip. Like when I sit down in the morning to film, or when I'm filming, I've not prepped my lip in any way. If anything, it would just be Fix Plus and then the foundation that I'm adding over top. I use multiple lip liners. It's the same reason that you do for your cheek, contour, blush, and highlight, as opposed to just one of them on its own. Blush by itself looks fine, but blush with highlight does a little bit more. Blush with contour does a little bit more. So it's the same concept on the lip. If I go in with just cashmere, that looks fine, but I'm also getting the entirety of the color. When I go into something like Stone, which I use for definition, I'm basically tinting and adding shadow to the lip. And I like to sandwich the lip liners. So this is gonna blend the two shades together a little bit more. So this, I get the color of cashmere and the shape and contour that I like, where this is just cashmere lip liner. The other thing with me too is the way that I do makeup on myself, I'm always looking to almost eliminate color. I'm trying to neutralize everything. If I was to go in with just Stone in the same way that I applied cashmere, I'm gonna have a dominantly gray lip. Your definition or your shading color has to be darker than your original color. So the only way to go from here and get more definition is by using actually something that's darker than stone. I love both, obviously. This is softer because it's the base of cashmere with the shadowing of stone, where this is dominantly stone. So same energy as what cashmere looked like, with entirely different color. We also need to talk about texture and placement. A lot of the times people are like, oh my God, I put this liner on, it's like way too dark, or whatever the reason might be. You're in control of how this applies. The waxier your pencil is, the more control you have over it. If you go straight in with all those waterproof like pencils that you sharpen, you're stuck with sort of one type of lip look. If I go in with super soft pressure and just graze over my lip, it's a softer pigment, softer look. If I apply just more pressure, I'm pressing harder, this looks brown, this looks gray, it's the same pencil. Even if I go in with a second layer, this is how I'm seeing everybody apply their lip pencils all the time, and then complaining about it, but you're in control. If I'm using stone for definition, going in with a lot lighter hand than I would be with my original liner that I would be more dominant with. And then to my earlier point, going in on bare lips will immediately be darker, versus on that little bit of foundation, there's a thickness to this that you can feel when you're drawing on a bare lip, versus the glide and kind of diluted undertone, diluted color, even though I'm pressing hard, that happens on a softer base. On no planet would I ever just go in with a lip like on my own lips, unless I was just like throwing on gloss. Clear lip gloss is one of the most hydrating lip glosses you will ever use. If you sleep in that, your lips will be so beautiful the next day, even after like a couple of hours. Stunning. I'm gonna go in with grayish. And I draw on like the fine edge of my lip and like my skin. I love. I'm gonna go in with stone to create more shape and shadow. And here I can go anywhere. I'm gonna go in with Thanks It's Mac as my base color. And then I'm going to lighten it with a little bit of Blankety. To connect the lipstick to the liner like a little bit more, that first liner that I went down, the base liner, I'm gonna feather it into the lip. So there's more of a smoother transition and it tones down the intensity of both colors. And then you can really take this wherever you wanna go. Like I could lighten it from here, I could darken it, I could tint it, like whatever your heart desires. This is Just Hustlin', which was an old Grand Illusion. It's like beige with blue sheen to it. Stunning. And then I'm asked all the time, like, well, what do you do to touch up? Like, how do you touch up so many layers and steps? My lip liner doesn't move. And if it does, I don't care because I love applying lip liner. And my lips don't touch because of their size. So the only thing that's touching is on the inside here. I'm always drinking iced drinks, so I always have a straw. Even if this is starting to come off, the base of everything that you put is still there. So you can tell yourself, the easiest of the items that I'm using to touch up with, and like what's the main priority of the lip look. So in this case, it really is the Grand Illusion. So I can just go in with that as just a little topper. If the color is really important, then I'm touching up both colors. If the like lightness was really important, then I'm doing Blankety, even just on top. And I generally don't have to, if I have to touch up a lip, I'm good for usually like 5 to 6 hours. I might not care at that point if the lip is exactly how it looked at the beginning, but it might just be these two. I don't actually need to go back in with the Thanks It's Mac as much because it's already kind of there. Another thing too is if I just go in, this is the Nico 02 Smart Fusion Matte Lip Crayon. When you go in with something that's fairly opaque, meaning it's gonna cover a lot of your lip, this looks separate from the rest of my face. It looks like it's sort of just floating there. There's nothing wrong with it. It looks fine, but I don't love it. This is Kiko 33. So even just adding a darker liner helps frame it, but because those tones are still the same, you still get that like it's kind of floating on my lip kind of vibe that I'm just not into. So stone is gonna create that shape and anchor it to my face. Much better. I feel good about that. And then when I look at my face, everything's very flat. Like the tone from top to bottom, including the lip, is flat. I'm gonna add a bit of Kiko Gloss. This is in 27. So now this has added dimension to the face. It can depend on my mood if I'm looking for more of a matte look for my look, or if I'm looking for something like a little bit more glossy. I prefer if I've like not a lot of glam makeup on, I prefer more matte. Even having the remnants of that gloss down first and now putting the pencil on top has created a different texture. I really like this. I bought this in Amsterdam. What else do I get asked? For lip products are their pigment and their like binders and things like that. Mix them together. Like let them mix. So I've mentioned this before, like if I'm doing like a really structured lip, I really need to mix like that top layer into the bottom layer to create the color that I'm going for. And this is why like you actually do have so many different options when you start mixing and creating new colors. And I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Unless you truly understand the color wheel and color theory, stop using the terms cool and warm. Just reference the color you want to see. Like start breaking it down that way to start to better understand what are the things you love and don't love about your lip colors. That is the best way to try and figure out what you love and don't love about your lipstick collection realistically. And what do you have within it that can help you fix it or alter it. For me, another staple is Nova, because this blue color corrects the peach. Is gonna give me something a little bit more beigey gray. The Kiko stuff has a little bit of purple in it too. So this is more dominantly peach. And when you start from my forehead and work your way down, you can see color. This, when you work your way down, there's no like abruptness of color that's breaking up the face because it's neutralized now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you learned a little bit more about why I do the things I do on my lips. And this kind of opens the door for you to experiment with new things. If you like learning this way, join me on my SKOOL community, skool.com/Miss Megan. That's where we do weekly 1.5 hour calls on whatever topics the community wants to learn about. Make sure you turn on post notifications so you never miss a post, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram, all under the same name, @Miss Megan Robinson. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.